Okay, today we are doing the color wheel. So I'm going to have my paper in portrait, which is up and down, and then I'm going to do a grid. Okay, dividing my paper in half. Okay, and this just helps me with proportion, making sure everything's in the right place. The more boxes you use in a grid, the more accurate your placement of objects is going to be on paper. Okay, underneath it, I'm going to do two triangles. So I'm going to start here, come down to about halfway here. I'm going to do the same thing up here. I'm going to come about halfway, and I'm going to come down to here. Okay. Next, I'm going to draw a circle around the outside of the star. If you're wondering, this star symbolically is the star David in history. There's always a lot of symbols and geometry. Okay. Next, I'm going to do my primary colors. So my primary colors are ultra marine blue. Most people just know it as blue. Cadmium red. Cadmium yellow. Now we have three more primary colors. Most people don't realize there's actually 6 primary colors. So we have lemon yellow, which is also known as Chartreuse. We have cobalt, and we are using sky blue for cobalt. It's about as close as you're going to get in the Crayola color pencils that we're using. So it is slightly different than actual cobalt. And then we have magenta. Oops. There's an A there. Magenta. So those are our 6 primary colors. Our secondary colors are green, purple, orange. Okay, and those are the ones we're going to go over for this wheel. Okay, so I have yellow, it's going to be at top, and I'm going to make these trapezoids. So there's yellow, blue, and you notice they're going to be at the end of these points to the triangle, which is why we did the triangle. And this is going to be red. So I have yellow, blue, and red. Well, I have the other triangle with points, and these are going to be my secondary colors. So in between yellow and blue, you're going to have green. In between blue and red, you are going to have purple. In between yellow and red, you're going to have orange. Now, in between all of these, you are going to have 3 more colors. And next to the primary that you know, you are going to have the second set of primary. This is lemon yellow or chartreuse. I'm going to put chartreuse so we are getting used to the technical term for it. Here is going to be cobalt. And that is next to blue. And then next to red, we are going to have magenta. So that is your second set of primary colors. Okay, and then again, I said we're going to have 3 in between those main primaries, so I have to do 2 more trapezoids. So I need 3 here. And again, you can see how the grid is helping me place things. Grids are just going to help you proportion everything, make sure everything's in the right place. Invaluable tool for designers. And there is our design for the color wheel. So let's go over what the other colors are going to be. This is going to be yellow, green. And this is called an intermediate color, or a tertiary color. This is going to be spring green. This is going to be aqua green. This one is going to be aqua blue. This one is going to be blue green. And we got blue and cobalt. So those are all our greens. So between cobalt and yellow, you're going to have all these different types of greens. Now we're moving on to the purples. Between blue and red, you're going to have a bunch of different types of purples. So the first one is blue violet. The next one is just violet. And then we have purple. After that we have red violet. And then we have fuchsia. And if you need to catch up, you just pause the video. When I was growing up and I was watching Bob Ross, we couldn't pause the video, so we kind of had to work as fast as we could with Bob Ross. Okay, after the red and the yellow, we're going to have our oranges. So we have first red orange. Red orange. Then the next one we have is salmon. After that we have, just like the spring green, we have sunrise orange. And then we get into the yellowish oranges. So we have yellow orange. Next we have candlelight. So this one here is going to be candlelight. This is going to be amber. And it's technically amber orange. Okay, now we are ready to start mixing. Well, before we can mix anything, we have the primaries. So primary colors are the colors that, unless you have the actual raw materials, you're not going to be able to make them. That's why they're prime. They're the first color. So we're going to fill in the primary colors first. So the primary colors that everybody they're used to is the yellow, we have blue, and then we have red. Okay, now if you look closely at the top, you can see yellow has a bit of a smudge because it blended with my graphite. Well, I don't want that. I want it to have a pure pigment. And the reason it's going to affect yellow so much is yellow pigment is one of the weakest pigments out of most of these colors. So yellow is going to be the weakest, Red is more of like a middle tone, and blue is going to be your strongest one. So I'm going to take a hard eraser. It's just a white hard eraser. And I'm going to erase. Most of these eraser comes in a pencil pack. And notice it even picks up the color pencils. So if you make a mistake, you can use a white hard eraser and it will pick up most everything. Now I can go back into it. Just like that. All right, now I see some other areas that I'm going to want to erase where there are lines going through. So I'm going to erase those so it doesn't mix with my colors. I don't want that. And I'm using my drafting brush so I don't smudge. You can just use a regular brush. That way I don't get my hands dirty and I don't muddy up the colors. So my next color is Chartreuse. This is what Chartreuse looks like. It's a lemon yellow. It's got a green tint to it. Then I have Cobalt. And then I have Magenta. These are all your main primary colors, your 6 primary colors.